So you're saying that you used a circular reflection to get it?
Yeah, and
oh man, you gave me the chills big time. Because see, we haven't talked before, and that's exactly what they were having me use, and I had to stop doing it because it was driving me nuts. And wow, that just gave me the chills big time. Because what I was going to do was, those garden balls, those decorative.
I got
spheres.
One of those. Yes, those work good.
So that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow. See, and we've never talked before, so anybody doubting this stuff, we all hit on exactly the same notes.
Right.
So wow. Crazy stuff. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
But yeah, you're on the right track. But what else is another track is aluminum backing to a mirror works good. Just regular backings usually have a mixture of chrome and copper and everything else to it. But the aluminum backing, for some reason, absorbs the electrons that they put out and produces a better image. Although it looks more cartoonish than real. Of course, these guys look real anyways. I mean, they. I mean, you would think you're a cartoon land sometimes, but
that's for sure, man.
But yeah, that's the reason why that works. And the more times you reflect light, I found out, the slower you slow down the speed of light, and you catch a better image.
Huh.
And that is a secret right there.
And that's funny because that's right what I was on. And they explained to me why that was. It's essentially because they use the fourth dimension to present themselves to us, and apparently the fourth dimension is light. And since everything is spherical in space, it's, to say the Earth reflects in all different directions, and you can use either our sun or the center of the Milky Way or something as the mirror, basically. So you have to position yourself on the opposite side of it, but it can be in lots of directions since it's circular, but that's why apparently circular stuff helps you get it. You can kind of see what's really going on the other side of the other dimension. But
yeah, it stretches it out. You there?
Right. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, I thought I lost you for a second, but yeah, when you stretch out light, it collects in a different way. I don't understand it all, but I thought I came up with this totally myself, but NASA's using it to look at distant stars. And,
no kidding.
Yeah, and I found out because I was looking for anything to get a better image to do this. But the more mirrors you use, of course, people start questioning that. But the thing is I wasn't documenting none of this because I figured this was my cookie. And I wasn't sharing it, and because I wanted to get everything I could and get the technology good. It sounds like I'm being what do you call it? Being selfish, but I'm not. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to share this to the world one day. I'm going to write a book, and the government's going to contact me to help them, so they can contact them. But to find out they know more than I know.
That they do. No, that's wild, man. So and that really kind of shook me up a little bit that you were on the exact same track I was there taking pictures. That's just, even when it's happened to you, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just sit there and wonder, like, God, what is, am I a little bit off or what's going on? But that's just always cool when you hear somebody else say the exact same thing that happened to you, that beyond coincidence. But,
exactly.
What's your experience been? What's your read on them as far as what I get a lot of? Is I get a lot of typically Christians, and I hate to paint any group with a broad brush, but that's typically the group I get who insists these are demons and all that. And my experience with them has been interesting, bizarre, weird, scary sometimes. But that said, I think having been through it, I'm a lot better man for it. I know a lot more, certainly, and view the world in a lot more positive way. What's your own personal read on the intentions of the beings that you were around and all that?
Well, that's a good one. But I have seen a symbol of a cross there. They believe in the Creator. I know that, but they didn't. They didn't tell me it's a Christian God or a Muslim God or what. They believe in the Creator. I know that for sure.
Right.
And the thing is their culture, the way they live, is so different from what our culture is. We would be at war with them if the public really knew what was going on with what they're doing. And I'm not going to go too much into that, but they don't really seem to have laws. That they have more like rules, and they seem to be very paranoid, even of each other. But I guess if you can read each other's minds, and if you have a laws that thou shalt not think or conceive or do evil, if you walking by somebody and you pick up on their thoughts, that could be breaking the law, right?
Right.
So that they seem to be paranoid of each other. And when they sent people in to come and get me out of the house, they didn't send the best of the best. They always sent people that was on a little lower table. They seemed more like no higher than a teenager level.
Exactly, man. That's funny you say that, because that's something they taught me too. And I don't know. I'll have to get your read on what species you think it is, but they have. At one point I realized it was the Greys doing it, and I was talking to my wife at the time. I said, "Yeah, there's three types. There's tall, the regular size, and the small ones. The small ones are their children." I thought that was kind of funny. The tall are female, and the medium height are the male. But yeah, when I saw that, I was going to say it looks like the height of a child, and that's what they sent for me too.
Right. Well, I have a photo of one standing next to my dresser. He's one of my favorite ones. But he actually kept track of the one that was coming into my home, and they had a clipboard. Where they got the paper, I don't know. But he would sign them in. I'm telling you, he would sign them in, and he was always in charge. He was always in charge of the ones who came in and left, and they would all have to sign in, and they would walk through the house. I know that, and even though that they would be transparent, that somehow or another they would collect spider webs. You could take a cigarette cellophane and stick to them, and you could follow them around the house, even though you lost vision of them. But they wore this thing around their neck, and I'm wondering if that's what gave them their transparency. But believe me, I'm not the only one this is going on to. You're not the only one. There's people this is going on to, and they don't even know it. Because I've seen lots and lots of people that they are doing this to. I mean, lined up with people.
I couldn't agree more, man. And a lot of people that listen to me, and they'll come to the website and say, "Hey, I've got this weird stuff going on. All of a sudden, I'm obsessed by aliens," and I kind of have to tell them, like, well, there's a reason why that happens. You know, we're far from alone in this. But so you could. It sounds to me like you could actually see that. Anytime they take me at the night, I mean, I can know when they're around sometimes by some clerks and chipping noises that they make and stuff, but I've never, anytime I recall seeing them, usually it's, other than one instance, it's from when they took me in my sleep, and I'll have to look back on it. So are you able to see them walk around your house, or is it all in your video?
You bet. The video catches them better than I do, but they look like, if you ever seen that movie Predator, they're camouflaged like that. You can see all the shapes and figures. I'm going to give you another clue. This what really shows them up, even when they're transparent. If you ever seen one of these electric heaters that have a coil in it like a toaster, some reason that the radiation that puts off lights them up like a Christmas tree.
Really? Is it the red light?
I think it's the heat wave of the radiation coming off it. That's the only thing, because I tried every single light bulb except for a UVC light. Every color, every light that I could find, because I figured because blue light or green light works better. And then the radiation coming off of one of those old electric heaters that has a coil in it like a toaster oven. That lights them up like a Christmas tree, and you can see details like you not believe. And this is what I used to do. This works indefinitely, because every experiment that I did, it was able to improve within 24 hours, and I wasn't able to reuse it again. But a fog machine works great. Really? Yeah. So
never thought about that.
Okay, now, if you do a little bit of research on ancient history and stuff, they used this sage, and they would burn that to scare off evil spirits or warn them off. Now, that produces a lot of smoke, okay? And if you're invisible, this stuff works great. It shows them up, and they can even see each other. And on top of that, you wondered why one of these bulbs out in your yard works good, or a panoramic view. Think of a witch's bulb. They used to look at that and they see the spirits. I think that these spirits were these aliens.
I thought the exact same thing about the psychics with the crystal ball. You look into it, you see the reflection of the actual thing. Yeah, that's
exactly. Get a glass of water, put water in it, and set a candle across the room, and you can get a view of your whole room in the center of that glass of water, and you'll be amazed what you will see.